glad you're here. We're going to be starting soon. We have hundreds of classrooms joining us from all around the world. So we're getting ready for you. See you soon. students. We're going to be getting started soon. We're making space for a few classrooms to join us as they get their gear set up. We're getting ready for you. Thanks for joining us. It's going to be a fun party. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. We're going to be starting in just a little bit. The live is going to begin very soon. So what do they need to do?
Get ready.
Yeah, get ready. Get everybody in their places. We'll be starting soon. So get your seats. We're going to start.
This is booked. You are watching a thing called booked. If you've ever loved a story, you got booked. People reading graphic novels, they got booked. Read about a famous person, you got booked. Travel to a different world, you've been booked. Anything is possible when you're booked. Booked.
And we are live. We're here. Hi.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you. We have so many students watching from all over the country. We have hundreds of classrooms watching right now, and we want to say hi.
We put out a call for people to do Fail-a-Brations, and we wanted to try to get every single state, and we ended up getting 48 states, but 25 countries now?
Countries
it's crazy.
All over the world. We have a map here. We've got a little crayon, and Kristi, you were coloring it. Every time we got a new one,
yeah.
we color it in. So if you have any friends in New Hampshire or Rhode Island, we'd love for you to throw a Fail-a-Bration. But to all the rest of you, thank you. It is so cool to see how this is spread, and so glad that you're watching. We are authors, illustrators. We live in Tennessee. And I know we have some Tennessee students watching. Hello, neighbors. And we've been traveling all over the country over the past week to celebrate our brand new book, and it's called, can you guess?
Fail-a-Bration.
And it's been really fun getting to celebrate that book. If we've never met, some of you have joined us on a live before. If we've never met, here's a little bit about who we are.
Meet Brad and Kristi. When they were little, Kristi loved to color and make art. Brad loved to dream and doodle. They met at summer camp in West Tennessee when they were teenagers. Ooh, they're looking at each other. They're Actually, I think Brad is looking at a Beanie Baby. Oh yeah, I guess he is. Years later, though, they really did fall in love. And actually got married at the same summer camp they met at. And now they help out with it every summer. They have 2 kids and started a creative studio. The mission is to make cool stuff and live by the saying, be who you needed when you were younger. It's led to lots of adventures, like creating Kid President, connecting with classrooms and kids all over the world, designing animated characters like Zip and the Tiny Sprouts, writing picture books. The Circles All Around Us is about compassion. The Fantastic Bureau of Imagination is about creativity. And now their newest, Fail-a-Bration. It's about courage and community. It's about how we all make mistakes. It's about how you're not alone and it takes guts to try stuff. It's a party and everybody's invited. All their work is a party, and this party's just getting started.
Yeah, so I'm wearing my book tour shirt because Kristi made these for us as we traveled the country. We did 7 cities in 7 days. Where all did we go?
We did Memphis and Nashville, which are just our neighbors in Tennessee. And then we went to Georgia. And then from there, we went to Illinois and then Colorado, California, and Texas.
We visited libraries, schools, bookstores, and some of you who we visited, you're watching, hello again, and we had a total blast. And we love being around students and librarians and teachers, so thank you. One of the things that I know we have watching right now are some really brilliant students. Some of you are thinkers, some of you are dreamers, some of you are really logical. And so I know that you're all very good at lots of things, but I would imagine every single person watching this at some point has tried to maybe draw a perfect line or draw a beautiful picture and it looked like this. Yeah. I mean, we've all messed up, every single one of us, even the most brilliant students and even the teachers watching this. This is our dog. Well, that's Annie. Look at her.
She's so cute. We really wanted to include her in our next book, so in Fail-a-Bration. So we started drawing her and took lots of pictures of her, tried to really capture what did she look like and get all of her angles so that we could really be able to capture her for the book.
Yeah, we really had to study her. You look close and you want your art to kind of mirror the beauty of the animal. We really wanted this painting to capture the beauty of this masterpiece of a dog.
Yeah. And so we finally started sketching her, and then we're able to paint her. And this is what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is what Annie thought of that image. She no likey. No. Yeah, sometimes things do not go the way we think they're going to go. And this is what we've been learning, what we've been sharing, because we've had a lot of creative projects where we try to make something, make a book. We've even tried to make television shows and different things, and they didn't quite turn out the way we thought. And a lot of really cool things started out that way. I don't know if any of you watching this ever ate potato chips. Yeah, you probably have some favorite potato chips. The very first person to ever make potato chips was actually cooking potatoes a very specific way and was extremely disappointed because he missed a step. He did something wrong. And when they came out, he went, "Oh no, I've made a mistake. I failed at making the potatoes." And then he took a bite and went, "Actually, it's a pretty tasty mistake." And so we have potato chips because of a mistake. It didn't go the way he thought it would.
Yeah, another example similar to that one is ice cream cones. You might not know this, but in the early 1900s in St. Louis, they were having the World's Fair and they had tons of ice cream. So many gallons of ice cream that they wanted to serve, but they ran out of paper cups. And so as a solution to the problem, they realized there was a person nearby that was selling these waffle cookies and they could roll them up and turn it into a waffle cone. And so that's how we got ice cream cones.
And I imagine a lot of you know this next item. Maybe you've seen this before.
Yeah, Play-Doh. Play-Doh didn't start as a toy. Play-Doh actually started as a way to clean soot off of wallpaper. And so it was an okay,
very fun.
Yeah,
That's just
it was
not
an okay
fun.
cleaning product, but it's way better as a toy.
So a lot of things are that way, where, we think, oh no, this is a disaster, when actually it's a discovery. Or maybe we think, oh, it's a catastrophe, but actually it's a catalyst for some sort of creative project, something really new. The things we've been having lately are lots of Fail-a-Brations. And Fail-a-Bration, is a thing that doesn't necessarily come naturally, at least not to me. Celebration does. There's lots of reasons why we might celebrate, right?
Yeah, for birthdays or for succeeding at something.
Yeah, but then when something doesn't go right, we don't necessarily immediately go, yes. Instead, we might feel other feelings, like maybe you get angry. And that's okay. That's normal. I get angry when things don't
Oh,
go
yeah. I get super frustrated.
right. Maybe you feel other things. Maybe you felt sad. Yeah, definitely.
Disappointed.
Disappointed, embarrassed. This past week when we asked students, if you've ever had something not go right, we had a lot of kids raise their hands and share some pretty vulnerable things. We're trying to encourage maybe thinking about how you can, even when things aren't good, how you can find joy and happiness, even in the middle of a mess. That's what a fail-a-bration can be.
Have you ever messed up? Ever made a mistake? Ever tried to make something beautiful, but it looked like this cake? Well, you're not alone. Even though failing isn't fun, it's part of the process. It doesn't mean that you're done. The Wright brothers crashed. Oprah got fired.
Yeah, I got fired.
Beyonce lost Star Search, but now she's admired. It's okay to miss. It's okay to try. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. Sometimes we make mistakes. They can get bigger with all our wailing. We need a better relationship with this thing we call failing. Make a mess. Feel the pain. Let experiments keep burning. To fail is not the end. It's the start of our learning. When something goes wrong, mark the occasion. Put on a party hat. And throw a fail-bration. Help yourself remember. Write a short, encouraging letter. Failed at something today. Tomorrow, I'll fail better. Yay!
Important things to know.
Number 1, this book is a party. Number 2, everyone is invited.
All of you. It's a party and you're all invited. What if we made a book that just felt like a party? And it begins with this question: have you ever messed up? And one of the things that's been, I don't know, it feels like something I should have known already, but it's really encouraging to see when we ask this question in an audience and what happens.
All the kids are immediately like, yes!
Yes, I have, yes. And suddenly I feel less alone. Like I felt so much less alone. I feel like the whole room felt like, yeah, I've done that too. Have you ever made a mistake? Have you ever tried to create something beautiful? But it looked like this cake. And that's a real cake you made.
Yeah. Used some real frosting and decorated it to look like that.
Not the prettiest, but tasty. So the whole book is sort of an invitation and asking some questions like, if you ever made a mistake, has this ever happened to you? And then what can we do with that? And, you can complain, you can just give up, but that would be boring. And we've met so many awesome students out there like you. And so this is an invitation to party. So to do this very thing, the next time things don't go as planned, smile, mark the occasion, put on a party hat, and throw a giant fail-a-bration. So we've been working on thinking about looking at how we see things. This is a character. I drew these eyes. I've been learning in illustration. You can change a whole lot about a scene just by changing where the character's eyes are. Like they're moving one way, they might look suspicious, or another way, they might look shy. And this is a drawing that I started drawing this Godzilla character, and I named him Goodzilla. And the idea was that, maybe he's not trying to destroy buildings. Maybe he's trying to hug everybody, but he's misunderstood. And so he's knocking buildings down in the process. And that started as a little idea. And then I stretched it out and I drew buildings behind him and a helicopter guy. And then even in the windows there, you can see I added people. We even added our family there. There we are. That's us. But Kristi has a way of looking at things completely different from I do. So we make our books together. So it's a group project. And what did you do next?
Yeah, so I got a bunch of old boxes and some pieces of paper and cardstock and Just started folding them and setting them up like this.
Yeah, you know, you can start by looking at it. If you look at it one way, it might look like just things that need to be recycled, that our studio needs to be cleaned up. But if you tilt your head, you look at it with different eyes, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at start to change. Like, look at this. Watch what it turns into. Hey. See, it turned into a whole cityscape. And that's what happens when you change the way you look at things. The things you look at change. So this was the way we decided to look at not only Fail-a-Bration, but the whole book around Fail-a-Bration was how can we change the way we're looking at things. So the whole book was made out of paper, and you had a lot of fun, like tearing things up, right? And making things out of real objects we had here. And that was a little scary because you like to do things very particularly.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that will do something over and over and over until I get it perfect. And so whenever I was a kid, I would struggle with that a lot. I loved art, I loved crafts, I loved making things, but I would get super frustrated when I couldn't do something right the first time. And so I would crumple it up. Sometimes I would feel like I was a failure because I couldn't get it right away.
That's terrible because you're not a failure. You just were trying. But I know that feeling because when I was a kid, look at me. Oh, yeah, there he is. I had this thing where some things came easy to me, like reading came easy to me, being a complete goofball came easy to me,
Oh, yeah.
drawing. I loved those things, but math was a challenge for me. And I looked around, it felt like a lot of my friends, math came easy to them, but it was a challenge for me. And because of that, all the things I was good at went away, and I thought, I'm a failure at school. I'm so bad. I'm bad at math. I'm a failure. And
You're not a failure.
that's not what I would want to say to that little guy in the picture, and to you, you're not a failure. You're learning. You're growing. And that's the same message we want to say to you today, and we've been saying to lots of kids over the past couple of days. What's that say? Everybody read 1, 2, 3. You are not a failure. That's right. You are not a failure. One of our favorite pages in the book. It's this page, and it just says, you are not a failure. It can be easy to mistake the things that we do that don't go right as, well, that's my identity. That's who I am. It started as just one party. Actually, here's a little video about how this all came about. I failed, and it was embarrassing.
And then I shared the story in front of friends.
We threw an event and called it a Fail-a-Bration. I invited other friends to share too. They'd all had big success. They could only share fiascos, mess-ups. I wanted it to be like a TED Talk, but terrible.
Terrible.
And it was beautiful. There were name tags, but you had to spell your name wrong. My name's Brad, but that says bread. Well, of course we had to have snacks. I wanted them to be brave lions, but the cookies didn't turn out right.
Cookies.
Perfect for a Fail-a-Bration, though. Since then, it's been really cool to see the party spread. Kids and former kids in small rooms and big rooms, and now your room. We hope that you find here community, you find courage, and that you fail better. So one party turned into now a whole bunch of parties all over the country, all over the world, and even turned into a book. And so we're really excited to see what maybe this is sparking for you, for your friends. Here's some photos already of some schools who've been throwing Fail-a-Brations of their own. They've been making their own party hats. They've been doing some of the activities that we've got. And it even has turned into a song. Our friend Emily Arrow, the extremely talented musician, artist, writer, she wrote a Fail-a-Bration song. Here's a little clip of it.
You messed up the art or didn't get the part. Come to our Fail-a-Bration, Fail-a-Bration. Everybody will listen and cheer. Fail-a-Bration, a Fail-a-Bration is better because you're here.
You can find it on Emily's YouTube and anywhere music is streamed. We're really excited about it. So for us, this has been one of these things where we've made books before, where we have an idea or a story we want to tell. This one's been different because it's been us learning from a lot of you and learning what happens when people try things or why we need fail-abrations. And it's been coming from listening to kids and listening to teachers. There's a lot of people of lots of different ages watching this right now. We've got everyone from pre-K to college to even companies watching. And I realize all of you, no matter what age you are, you've had something not go right. And I hope you know that you are not alone. And we can find joy in it. We can find joy in it together. And that's where the really good stuff happens. So this image here, it looks like a mess. Like this image, it's just like, oh, what is on my screen right now? Tell us what we're seeing, Kristi, because you know a little bit about this because this is, I mean, you're a photographer.
Yeah, so this is actually the world's oldest surviving photograph. And if you look closely at it, you might be able to tell it's actually of a skyline, like of buildings. And so this was taken over the course of a day, and for it to be able to expose it. And it kind of seems like a failure if you look at it compared to today's photographs. Like my iPhone can take a better picture than this. But at the time, this was something that had never been done before. And so if they had looked at this as a failure, they never would have kept moving forward with photographic techniques and gotten to the point that we're at now.
Yeah, I mean, right now in the room you're in, you have the capacity to be able to take amazing images and photos, and that's all the result of people who failed along the way to capture light and darkness, and now we're even able to stream an image and photos and videos all to you. This is a banner. It's going to show up on the screen behind you. This will be a perfect time for you to celebrate the fact that you can all take a photo. We can all take one big group photo. We would love, maybe if you're watching later or you're watching live, either way, you can pause the screen maybe and get your group together and take a big selfie. This is our selfie moment. Playing the music now and get your group together. Boom! All right, I hope you were able to get a group photo, get everybody together. Oh, you look so great. Send us your photos. We want to put a big compilation together.
We would love to see them. If you want to share them with us, you can email them to me at Kristi@MontagueWorkshop.com.
There's something I would like to invite all of you watching to join us in on. This is a big project, but this is a big group. We've got thousands of students watching. So we started a project several years ago, and it was because we were working with a group of students. We called it Socktober, and the idea came because we found out that there were lots of men, women, and children who lived near us who did not have everything they need, who lived on the street, who didn't have food, who were without a home. And so some kids encouraged me to call our shelter and find out how we could help. And one of the ways that we found out that our shelter most needed help this time of year was what?
Socks.
It sounds so small, but it's one of the most needed, least donated items in many shelters. Everything is terrible, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it, right? Wrong. There's so much you can do to make today awesome for somebody. Donate millions of dollars.
What are you talking about?
You can put up a billboard on a busy highway about how cool you are.
Excuse me?
You can perform life-saving surgeries on small kittens.
What?
Okay, actually, if you want to be a world changer, be a day maker. Day makers. Just make today awesome for somebody. More than 500,000 people in the U.S. experience homelessness every day. 500,000. In 2011, we created Socktober. The mission? Connect people to their local shelters as everyone prepares for winter. Socks are often one of the most needed but least donated items at shelters. It's the starting place. You might find that your shelter also has a need for blankets or hygiene products or something else entirely. Visit happysocktober.com to find a shelter nearest you. And once you know what they need, rally your community to make it happen. Get to work, and let's make this the best Socktober yet. And so every year, the month of October, we have declared it
Socktober.
Socktober! And this has been happening for many years. Several years ago, we got to really see it take off when we started the web series Kid President, and we had Kid President declare it Socktober. It's been mentioned on Jeopardy.
Works each year and really enjoys something called Socktober. I don't know what that's all about.
Socktober has been happening all over the world. And it's not just socks. This is what I want to encourage you to do. So if you'd like to be part of this, of helping your neighbors who are without a home, you can go to happysocktober.com. There is a link there where you can find the shelter nearest you. You put in your zip code, and you can find a group of people who are already helping people in your neighborhood. And what you can do is you can have a grown-up around you. Maybe it's your teacher, maybe it's a parent, it's somebody you trust. They can reach out to that shelter and find out what are some items they need. Some items that a lot of shelters need right now, they need items as it's getting colder. They need socks. They need blankets. They need basic things like toothpaste and shampoo and soaps. And so find out exactly what maybe your shelter is running low on. But there's another thing we need, and it's not just in your neighborhood. We also need help making Socktober flyers, Socktober printables and things. Over the years, every year, we've had students lead this project. The Happy Socktober website, it was built by teenagers. It's built by students. And so we need some fresh flyers to get people excited about starting their own Socktober. So you can see the ones we have right now. If your class would like to create your own Socktober art, that would be amazing. We'd love to have more students involved in creating materials that everybody can use to make this the biggest, best Socktober yet. Because the thing we've been learning over and over is that if you invite kids into something, they make really cool things happen. You are compassionate, you're creative, and we have a whole community of you here watching Booked right now who are part of Fail-a-Bration.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We have had so much fun being able to share a little bit of the book with you, and we hope you're having so much fun having Fail-a-Brations with your classroom. One of the things we really want you to remember is Fail-a-Bration isn't about celebrating mediocrity. It's not about, failing on purpose. It's really about finding community through our struggles. And so that's what's so great about a Fail-a-Bration is a lot of times we'll recognize, like, I had this happen to me and you had it happen too. And we can find friendship and community through that.
I've ended every single school visit over the past years with a poem. And over the past week, we got to share it with several students. And we share it with you right here, right now. To all of you watching, don't hide your magic.
Can I share with you a poem? Yeah! It's for all the kids, and it's even for you former kids. In addition to writing books and things, I work at a school for witchcraft and wizardry.
This is what I want to tell little Brad, and I want to tell all of you.
Okay, so, don't hide your magic.
Please share your gifts. Seeing you shine.
It gives the whole world a lift.
It's okay for wizards to be quiet or shy.
But hiding your magic, that'd be a crime, and here's why. This room needs to dazzle. We need what you've got.
You might think that you're nothing.
Or you might think that you're not, but you're more. You're more. You're more. Much more. And it's time to be seen.
You're more loved than you can imagine.
You're more powerful than you can dream. So if you ever feel less than,
Or you feel like you don't count.
or maybe your soul's all flooded with doubt,
Remember, you are magic.
you're magic, you're magic, you're magic. You're equipped.
You're prepared.
And never forget.
Magic is meant to be shared.
Share. Share.
Share. Thank you.
Bye.
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 There's a lot of awesome kids in the world, and there's a lot of awesome people who care about kids in the world. With our new book, Fail-a-Bration, we work to create lots of resources connected to it. There's printables, there's fun games, there's fun activities. You can even make your own party hats. Whether it's social emotional learning or just creative writing prompts, we've got you. So thanks for helping create a better world for kids. It's a party. Glad you're here.